Alright, what's up YouTube? It's Allie Cheers, and I'm coming at you guys with a new video today. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than my other videos. This is actually a talking kind of rant video. And so today I'm talking about the Colin Kaepernick situation because it needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed. So I guess today I'm Allie Talks. But if you're interested in hearing about this, I have a lot of facts and like opinions and links and things to like show to you guys. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. Alright, so I literally have my computer in front of me with all my notes on it to talk about in this video so I don't forget anything. But just a few disclaimers before I start this video. One, this video isn't to put anyone down, isn't to put any race down for what they're doing or for what the situation is. This isn't trying to make like minorities are like the greatest people in the world or non-minorities are terrible people, because that's not true. I'm just here to speak some facts. I'm here to give my personal opinion, my 100% real and truthful opinion on the situation. If you have a different opinion than me, feel free to respectfully comment down below. Or if you agree with me, again, comment down below, because I'm really open to seeing what people feel on the situation. So basically, we're going to just jump right into this video because I don't want it to be super long. So yeah. So for those of you guys who don't know, Colin Kaepernick is a football player in the NFL. He plays on the 49ers. And before we go any further, no, I did not like him. He was my favorite player before the situation. I'm a Cowboys fan. If you saw the Dallas vlog, you obviously know that. But I am a Cowboys fan. So I do not care about the 49ers. I do not care about the players on the 49ers like that. I'm a Cowboys fan. The Cowboys aren't too fond of the 49ers, so that's just kind of how it is. So yeah, basically Colin Kaepernick, football player, he did not stand for the National Anthem for 2 games now. Now it's been 2 games. The situation kind of broke out after the first game he didn't stand, but at this day on August 31st, it's been 2 games that he has not stood for the National Anthem. Basically his reasoning was he's not going to stand for a country that oppresses minorities, and basically about the police brutality is his reasoning that he's not standing for the National Anthem. Which, he didn't get fined or anything because you are entitled to not stand for the National Anthem. It's not a fine for NFL players. So yeah. People have been speaking out on Colin Kaepernick. He's gotten a lot of backlash actually. People have been actually speaking out and then backpedaling on their statements. So I'm actually going to include a video of what Jim Harbaugh, his former football coach for the 49ers, said. And you'll see that next. And then after that, I will tell you what he ended up coming back and saying after the video was released.
House's right to do that, but I don't respect the motivation or the action.
Still run your left coach, Bob?
Jimmy, a year ago at this time, there was a lot of unknown.
Jim Harbaugh later comes back to say that he misspoke and he supports his motivation, but he doesn't support his method of action. Which, I mean, you're allowed to have your own opinion, so that's his own opinion. Donald Trump, of course, spoke out about this, and he says that Colin Kaepernick should find a country that works better for him. Okay, cool. We'll just move on. We won't even talk about that. We'll just keep moving. Tony Stewart tweeted, "I'm sorry, but at Kaepernick7, which is his Twitter name, which I'll link that down below." So basically he's saying that he's sorry, but Colin Kaepernick needs to learn the facts about police brutality before running his cuss word mouth. He has no clue what they go through. #idiot. Really? #idiot? Like, how old are we, Tony Stewart? But anyways, hey, you're not allowed to have your own opinion, so he has his own opinion. That's his opinion. Rodney Harrison also ended up speaking out like right after the situation, questioning Colin Kaepernick's ethnicity and his like the way he was raised, and then he ended up coming back and saying that he shouldn't have called out Colin Kaepernick's race during his interview. It was a mistake and he apologized. So my problem is that everyone is speaking out too quick before they think about it. Like, think the situation through before you speak out. Like, this video has obviously been delayed, and I obviously took notes on what I needed to say so that I don't have to come back and backpedal. I stand with Colin Kaepernick in my personal opinion, but you may not, and that's totally okay to not stand with him for your own personal reasons. Also, there's a hashtag trending on Twitter called Veterans for Kaepernick. So I'll also link that down below so you guys can look through that and form some opinions on your own, because there's some really powerful things on that page. So some problems that I have with people who've been speaking out on is the fact that Colin Kaepernick isn't fully black. So for those of you who don't know, Colin Kaepernick is biracial. Biracial means you're two races. So he's half black. And people are saying because he's half black, he doesn't have the right to stand up for this situation. Which, how? It affects you. Like, I mean, personally, I feel that, for those of you guys who don't know what Colin Kaepernick looks like, I'll have pictures of him in this video of what he currently looks like, because if you see his hair and the way he looks, you can tell that he is African American. So for those people who don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, or who don't watch the NFL and were to see him walking on the street, he probably still would get profiled. Yes, he has a $22 million net worth, but he probably would still get profiled. It's just that simple. He looks African American. You can tell he's African American. That doesn't change the fact. I feel like you don't have to be full black to stand up for what's right. You don't have to be black at all to stand up for what's right. It's just that simple. Like, why not stand up for what you believe in? Like, why can't he stand up for what he believes in? That's what I'm confused about. And a lot of articles have been referring to him as the black player. What's the point of that? Why can't you just call him Kaepernick or call him Colin in your articles? Why do you have to call him the black player? Like, oh, the black player said blah, 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 or the black player didn't stand for the second game. What is that doing for you? Like, because it just makes it have such a negative connotation, and that kind of irritates me, because why is being black have a negative connotation? And I'm not trying to play like the race card, like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. No. I just don't feel like he needs to be called the black player. Like, why can't he be called his name? His name is Colin Kaepernick. That's what he could be called. I don't see the point in calling him the black player. And then everyone has been responding to him on Twitter, Instagram, whatever, in such a negative way, calling him out his name and just saying all kind of negative things to him. And I feel like if he were to respond to the people the way they're talking to him, he'd be the bad guy. But why is that? Like, if you come at him foul, why can't he come back foul? I don't see the problem. Don't understand what the issue is here. Alright, so basically, the point of this video is this. The problem isn't Colin Kaepernick not standing for the National Anthem. The problem is he's shining light on a situation that people wanted to keep in the dark. People aren't mad that he's not standing. People are mad because he's waking people up. He's waking some minorities up and enlightening them so they can stand up for themselves as well. Like, people don't want light, like, shown on the situation. People want to keep it in the dark. The oppressors, quote unquote oppressors, want to keep the oppressed in the dark, and they don't want the oppressed to speak out. And that's why you guys are so irritated with Colin Kaepernick and so upset at the fact that he's not standing. I mean, you don't have to stand. You don't have to put your hand on your heart. There's things you don't have to do in the National Anthem. And I feel like there's more to the situation than just being upset with him for not standing. So basically, along the lines of Colin Kaepernick's police brutality situation, he's fed up. It's been happening so much, like in just 2016. There have been so many deaths, and I know that every police brutality situation isn't the cop's fault. Obviously, there's some situations where, you know, the cop has been put in danger, which, okay, I understand that. But there are some situations that there is no reason. Like, how many of you guys know who Legend Preston is? He's 10 years old. 10 years old. You're in 5th grade when you're 10 years old. Why is a 10-year-old dealing with police brutality? Why were guns drawn on a 10-year-old? A 10-year-old? How much harm does a 10-year-old present to an adult officer? He's 10 in the 5th grade. And I understand all kids don't look 10, stuff like that, but you can tell he's a kid. Like, honestly, I'll link his name down below so you can research that situation on your own and form your own opinions. Again, these are my personal opinions. How many of you guys know about Jessica Williams? She was a homeless woman who was shot. Check her name down below. Research that. How many of you guys know about Leon Ford? Like, Leon Ford's story is so powerful, and I feel like it needs more, like, people to know about it. I'm not going to go into the whole story right now. I'll link his Instagram and stuff down below. But basically, I've been following his story for about 2 years. Yeah, it's been about 2 years now, and honestly, his journey is so powerful. Like, you need to check his story out. Like, please check down below for his story. Charles Kinsey, I know, or Kinsey, I think it's Kinsey. Most people probably know about that. I think that was one of the most recent police brutality situations, if I'm speaking right. I'll double check and I'll, correct myself if not. But I think that was one of the most recent police brutality situations that happened. So again, I'll link all those names in the description box for you guys to look up on your own. And I'll link all the articles and different sources I found stuff in down below so you can form your own opinions about the situation and you don't have to form your opinions off of mine. Okay, so next portion, I guess. Colin Kaepernick isn't just upset with police brutality, he's upset with the inequalities, racial inequality. And there's a video of him talking about the presidential candidates and kind of their influence on it, but I'm not going to go too much into that because, one, I'm not 18 and I can't vote, and two, I just don't want to talk about the presidential candidates. I just have nothing positive to say about that. So I'm not going to talk about it because I feel like I agree with Colin. Your presidential candidates do have influence on things that are going on in the world, and they have influence on the situation. So I'll try to link, the video's on Twitter, so I'll try to link that video in here, but if not, I'll try to see if I can put it in the actual video. But yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I got y'all. Alright, but also the inequalities that Colin Kaepernick is talking about, which there are like so many that I could have made a whole video on inequalities, on racial inequality actually, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to talk about a few inequalities that have happened in just this past year, past couple of weeks actually. So for example, an example of inequality. So NBC had no problem airing Ryan Lochte's lies every single day, all day long, but they had an issue with airing Simone Manuel's medal ceremony. Her medal ceremony wasn't even that long, for one. For two, she made history. She made history. And you couldn't air her ceremony, but you aired another country's Olympic Games, basically they aired one of Russia's events instead of airing her ceremony. So you'd rather air another country's Olympic event than air your own country's medal ceremony. Wait. But you had no problem airing Ryan Lochte's lies every single day. They aired his lies. Like, he was lying. Literally, we found out he was lying. And you just wanted to air that every single day, all day long. We already knew the situation, but you couldn't air her medal ceremony. How does that work? And if you don't know who Simone Manuel is, check down below. Look her up. She's great. Also, if you look on Colin Kaepernick's Twitter, also, you'll see a lot of important stuff, influential and enlightening things. So I'll link his Twitter down below also, because a lot of the stuff on his Twitter, he speaks truth on his Twitter. Like, you have to really follow him and really look at his Twitter to see the things that he is talking about, because his Twitter is really basically like answering a lot of questions people have for him. Like, a lot of the things people wondering why he's not standing. Look at his Twitter. He's explaining it. He's retweeting things. Like, the people that he's retweeting, I'll link their Twitters down below also, because they have some important things as well. And then Sam White. I believe his name is Sam White. I think it's Sam White. If you've seen the video, like the Cap is dancing, the white guy in the video, his name is Sam White, I believe. He speaks some truth as well, so I'll link his Twitter down below, because go on their Twitters and enlighten yourself, honestly. There's so much that you guys need to learn. So, yeah. Another problem, I guess, that Colin Kaepernick is tired of is the fact that minorities are seen as threats. Why is that? Why is that a minority is seen as a threat? And if you don't know what a minority is, I'll put the definition up here, like somewhere. Maybe right here, so you guys can see it. But why are minorities seen as threats? Why is it that minorities are threats, but that's it? And also, again, with the presidential candidate video that he talks about, which was another part of the interview that the media did not show, which kind of gets me. So he was speaking some real truth in this video, but it didn't get aired when he answered like why he didn't stand up for the national anthem. They didn't show the whole interview, and the part that they didn't show was the part that he spoke the most truth in, which is my problem. Like, why are we trying to make him look bad for standing up for what's right? I don't see the problem in Colin Kaepernick standing up for what's right, and I don't see why everyone is going out of their way to make it be like all bad on Colin Kaepernick. Doesn't make sense. And he's basically talking about presidential candidates and their influence, and I just feel like, how is that a presidential candidate is influencing the harm of Muslims? I'm linking down below a video of a Trump supporter. Like, he heard a Muslim and he said that he did it for Donald Trump. It is graphic. I think you have to be 18 years old to watch it, or, you know, like, you have to be, like, have an account to watch the video, because I think it is graphic. I haven't watched the whole video yet, but I will link it down below, because I feel like you guys need to see that. So basically, that's all the notes that I have. Basically, in conclusion, I stand for Colin Kaepernick. I agree with him. Like, what he's saying is right. And, I mean, you're allowed to protest in any way you want to. You have the freedom. You have free speech. Like, we have free speech here living in the United States. And you're allowed to protest in whatever way you feel that you want to protest. And he's not protesting in a violent manner. So why is it that he's getting so much backlash for standing up for what's right? Like, it's really time to take the situation out the dark. Like, bring it to the light. Like, wake up. It's time to wake up right now. Like, wake up. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, feel free to comment your opinions down below, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Comment down below. Give us a thumbs up for all the editing and all the different videos and pictures you saw in the video. And check down below in the description for all the information on people that I mentioned, all the articles and all the links, because that will all be down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment, do all of that. Thanks for watching.